when I started playing basketball in the 7th grade, it was then that I realized you have to have really good grades in order to go to college. I could possibly get a scholarship, and I knew my mom couldn't afford to send me to a Division I school. And so with that, I got way more serious about school. We then moved to Inglewood, California, and I ended up becoming the class president, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. I was, student body president. I was on the honor roll, just really into school, and I loved it. And so what happened was I became one of the best players in the nation. I got recruited by over 200 schools to get a scholarship to college. And so then it was like, wow, it must be great. You have all these opportunities, but there's a few things that have to happen. You have to pass a test called the SAT. Anybody ever heard of that? Or an ACT. So I'm like, okay, great. Yeah, I got a 3.8, whatever. I took this test several times, and I didn't do well. And I couldn't understand why. So we had this press conference, and they want to know what school I'm going to choose. So I ended up choosing going to the University of Southern California, which is USC. But I also challenged the media. I'm like, but the problem is something's wrong with our educational system. It's broken because why am I struggling with this exam? If I have a 3.8, that means I've done pretty much everything that my teachers asked. Well, I was 16 years old. I didn't realize that everybody didn't have the same exact education or the exposure. I didn't know that my education was different or less than because I lived in the inner city. And that, when you're a kid, that's an eye-opening experience. How would you know that? This was the perfect opportunity for me to speak on behalf of all of America, on behalf of all of the inner city kids, on behalf of all the schools that are underperforming, and the fact that our kids need to have the best education possible. And why should we be stuck in certain areas to have less education because we may have less income? Something about that is not fundamentally right. And more people. So I'm applauding you guys here, first off, in Louisiana, because you guys are doing a great job of moving that needle, whether it's school choice, charter school, whatever it is. But also parents, you got to continue the fight. Just as the other parents spoke, you have to fight for your child. It's our priorities. Our children didn't ask to be here, but it's our responsibility to figure out how they can get the best education possible. If you get enthusiastic about education, so will your children. If you demand that your children take 15, 20 minutes a day to read a book, read out loud, read to you while you're cooking dinner, do something that really promotes education. When you think about the things that we do in our home and what we promote, if I asked a few questions, how many of us know how to whip and nay-nay? I got you. My kids know how to do it too. I can do it. How many of us know how to millie-wop? Okay, raise your hand. Come on, yeah, exactly. Show me, right? How many of us know how to dab on it? So we are influencers and we are leaders in so many directions. But just remember, the most important direction that we need to be leaders and influencers is in education. Thank you so much.